Okay, so this is the new 3-drawer unit. It's the new universal 3-drawer unit that will replace the standard and large unit. This new universal unit will have the ability to cover a standard unit from 39 degrees to 45 degrees inclusive. It'll also cover the large unit from 39 to 45 degrees. So there's a couple of improvements that we've also made in the design. We've included a new runner system, which will mean that the clickers will be built into the runners, which will mean that there'll be no requirement for us to fit clickers in these new units. The other improvement with the runner system is that the runners will give us an ability to carry up to 35 kilograms of weight in each drawer. So there's 5 changes that we've made to the universal unit, and we're going to run through this in the assembly. The first one, as I've already explained, is that we now have a new runner mechanism of where the clickers are built into the runners. So there is no requirement for a clicker on the units going forward. The second adjustment to it is that the carcass parts will only be 116 millimeters in width, and there's a new assembly on the carcass structure that we're going to go through. We've also redesigned the spine assembly so that now the one spine will cover 39 to 45 degrees on both the standard and large unit. And the final alteration is that the cross rails will be within the drawer packs now. So a standard drawer pack will carry the standard cross rails, and the large drawer pack will carry the large cross rails. Okay, so when we open up the unit, the first thing we'll see in here is that we've actually got a set of instructions on how the walls are assembled. Here, all of the component parts are actually numbered, and the number on each of these actually refers to the dimension of it. So this piece here is 554 millimeters in length. This piece here is 1100 millimeters in length. From now on, we will refer to the component parts based on the dimensions. So this part will always be known as an 1100 part from now on, and this part will always be known as a 554 part from now on. Okay, so if we look at the component parts in place, this will form your base rails. So your two 1100s, you've got your legs and you've got your blocks here. Now, the difference between this and the new universal unit and the old standard and large is, as you can see, we've got additional holes drilled in here. So one of the first things we've got to do when we're assembling it is we've got to make sure our hole positions line up. So when we're putting down our rails together, we make sure that our holes here line up like this. Now, this way would be incorrect. As we can see, these holes line up, but these ones don't line up, and these ones don't line up, and these ones don't line up. So when we're setting out our new base rails, the first thing we do is we put the base rails down and make sure our holes line up. Okay, so for our tall wall, there is 4 components to make it up now. You've got your 1185, which is your main high section. You've got your 2 cross pieces, which take it from front to back, and they're your 365, your 365, and then you've got your 554 piece here. Now, when I turn this one over here to the side, you'll see all of these holes. Your first 365 goes into this position here. Your 365, second 365 position, when you're fitting for a large unit, the top one goes into the top hole up here, like that. If I'm fitting for a standard unit, it just goes into the bottom 2 holes, like this. So the large unit is here and the standard unit is here. So in this case, I'll assemble for a large unit, so it goes in up here. You may also see these 2 holes here, and that is if we need to accommodate for a pipe, this can be moved up to that position. When we look at our 554, it has the same situation of where it's got its two holes at the bottom for here, and then it's got the two holes here that if I need to adjust for the pipe, and then I have my 4 holes up here for my large and standard. So again, when I'm fitting a large, I'm lining up the holes here. Okay, so for your mid wall, it's made up of four pieces. Your 668, again 2 365s and a 554 position. Now, again, similar to the high wall or the tall wall, you've got your 2 holes drilled here for your base 365 to go in, and then you've got your 4 holes up here. Again, if you're fitting a large unit, you start from the top, large top, work down, or if you're fitting a standard, it's a standard bottom working up. So in this case, because we're doing a large, I'm putting the top one here into the top hole. So with our 2 base rails, we have, as I said before, we have to make sure all of the holes are lined up accordingly. And then once we separate them out, the first thing we do is we pick this line at the back here as our high wall position. So if we were assembling for a standard unit, your high wall goes into its position first, and then we pick the first set of nearest holes. So these ones here is where our mid wall would go for our standard. And then our base wall will go into the position here, the next set of run of holes here. And as you'll see, you'll be left with a little hangover over the end here, and that can either be cut off, or also when the support triangle goes in here, it will actually sit on this section. Okay, so how we position the unit is very, very simple from the angle point of view. All of the large units start with the first hole at the top, which is a large 45 degree. And then each hole down is 1 degree. So large 45, large 44, down to large 39. The standard 45 will overlap with the large 39. If we're fitting a standard unit, start at the bottom hole. And the bottom is standard 39 and works all the way up to standard 45. Again, for the mid wall, the exact same thing. All of the large units start at the top with large 45 and work our way down as far as large 39. For the standard units, we start at the bottom with a standard 39, working the whole way up as far as a standard 45. The spine now comes in 2 parts. 803 and 803 are the 2 parts together. So again, similar with the spine, we start with a large 45 at the top, work our way down to the large 39. If we're fitting a standard unit, we start at the bottom, standard 39, working our way up to a standard 45. Okay, so the last pieces that are required is the cross rails to go across here. Now previously they would have been within the carcass unit, but now they're actually going to be stored in here in the drawer pack. So when I open the drawer pack, and when I have a standard drawer pack, I will have the 2 standard components in here for the cross members. When I'm fitting a standard unit, the holes are drilled here for it, and again standard goes at the bottom, like here. And if I was fitting a larger unit, the larger units would go at the top holes. So standard on the bottom, large on the top. Finally, the last difference with this unit and the old unit is the new clicker mechanism. So there is no clicker individual clicker anymore. It's actually built into the drawer runners, but you can see at the back here, meaning that there's a locking mechanism on the drawer. The runners still go together in the same way and can be removed apart just by sliding that up, and then they go into place.